Hi, this is Carrie Schell from On Point Quilter. In today's video, we're going to take the Pentagon and decagon blocks that we've created in Electric Quilt and combine them in a rosette. And this will be done in custom set within Electric Quilt. To get started on our Pentagon quilt, we're going to go to the Work on Quilt section, and we're going to do a quilt, new quilt, custom set. And the custom set gives us a space to work with that we can bring in motifs and we can set them together. So I'm not really sure what my size should be, so I'm just going to keep it at the default of 48 by 48. I can change that later once I've added all of my my rosettes. So I'm going to go to the border tab though, and I'm going to delete that. And then I'm going to go to layer 1. Now, in terms of setting, I am going to show my grid. I actually have it set to a 6 by 6 grid, but I want to make sure that both snap block position to grid and snap block size to grid are turned off. Now, the other setting that I want to change, I need to access in the More Quilt Work Table options. And under my snap settings, there's a group of nudge settings, and it says graph pad controls will jump by. Now the smallest number I can use is 1/32 of an inch, so I'm going to actually change it to that. Now a lot of times when I'm doing custom set, I will like a larger number, but for this particular purpose, for things to fit, I want a very small sort of nudge on that. And I am going to go ahead then and select OK. Now I'm going to select my set block, and I am going to take my center square and I am going to drag it on the workspace. I'm going to do a fit to work table so I can see my whole screen. And with that, I'm going to make sure that I center it both horizontally and vertically. And then I'm going to do a set block, and I'm going to bring in one of my pentagon shapes. Now, when I take this and I do the adjust tool and I bring it down, you can see that it is too large. So let me zoom in so we can see it a little bit closer. And frankly, the angle is off. Now, because we are dealing with pentagon and decagon shapes here, basically things need to move. If we take our 360 and we divide it by 10, that would be 36. And I think because of the angle I drafted it at, this needs to actually move by 18 degrees. So I'm going to put 18 in my precision toolbar there. And now when I push that up against the decagon block, you can see it is still way too large. So I'm going to start with 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And I'm going to take a look and see how that looks. And again, I'm going to zoom in really close, and with the adjust tool move that in place, and it's a little bit big. It's not bad, but it's a little big. So I'm going to use these nudge settings, and I'm going to bring that down, and I can see that it's still a little bit too big. So let me try that. I might even go down one more. So the number I ended up with on that is 3.156 times 3.156. So I'm going to zoom out for a minute, and I am going to now basically clone this. So I can use the copy and paste features up above, or I can do the Control plus the C key and the Control V key. Now this will give me every other item in terms of rotation, right? But to get the other ones, I am going to need to rotate it an additional 36 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and do one more copy, and I'm going to change that to 54, and hopefully that's going to fit in there, right? And I'm going to do basically 4 more copies and pastes on that. And again, I don't have to keep doing this Control C. I can just keep doing the Control V's and pull them in place. Now, I am going to want to zoom in and reposition every one of these so that there is no space at all. And that is easier because I have turned off all of the snap settings. Okay, once I've got those done, I'm going to go ahead and zoom out, and now I am ready to put the star in. And so I will do another set block tool, and I'm going to take one of my stars with and I'm going to move that in place, and I can see I'm going to use the adjust tool, and it's just not going to fit, so I need to first of all do a rotation on that, and I'm going to try the 18 degrees again, and it's a little bit big, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try 5.25 and zoom in and see how close I am with that. And again with the adjust tool. I think it could be a little bit smaller. Okay, so it was 5.188, and I will zoom out, and I'm going to go ahead and do the Control plus the C and the Control V on that, and I will make a number of those to get me started here. And so if this one had moved 18 degrees, I'm going to go in increments of 36. So for the first one, I'm going to try changing that to 54. And it should just fit in place. And I think the next one is going to be 90 degrees. The program will not let me put above 180 on there, which means I need to go negative. Now, you're not able to put a negative number in, but if I click on my star here and I change it to 0, if I click to the that nudge arrow, it will go to a -1 degree. Now I can just highlight that one, and I can change it to I'm going to try a -18 here. And now I can keep going with that. So I need, let's see, 4 more of these. Now, once I have those roughly put around my my first ring there, I do need to zoom in and move these and fix these as well. Now for my next ring, I'm going to zoom out again. I'm going to reuse these basic Pentagon blocks. And so I can just do Control C and Control V, which means I don't need to resize them. And so that's one of the shapes. And the other shape is this one here. Control C, Control V. And that can fill my next layer here. And I am going to copy and paste those as well. So once I have those first set sized and rotated, it really is very simple to copy and paste. The time is on the placement, and a lot of that just depends on how exact you want to be. Now recognize that the templates will be exact when you fit them. It's just the placement that is a little bit less precise. Okay, once I've got those placed, I will zoom out, and then what I'm going to do is pull in some more of these center decagons. And so once I've got those, I can copy and paste and move those in place as well. And this is just sort of fun. I mean, it's just a chance to play with some different ideas and really use these blocks to create your own rosette. And I do need to fill those spaces in. So if I zoom in, I can use the Adjust tool, and I can select those and fill those in as well. I just need to find the right ones to copy and paste. Okay, once I've got those all placed, I can zoom out and I can recolor my quilt. Now once I have my basic coloration done, I can add it to the sketchbook. Now I do want to resize my layout, so I'm going to just use my tape measure to measure across, and that's basically 31 3/4. So I'm going to resize this, but before I do that, I want to go into the More Quilt Work Table options, and I want to go to All Sizes, and I want to click on Don't Resize Contents of Layer when resizing quilt. So that means when I change the size, the pieces will stay the same. So I'm going to go to the layout, and I'm going to change that to 31.5 times 31.5, and I'm going to select everything and see if I can get that centered. I think that looks pretty good. And now to get rid of those grid lines, I'm going to turn off the show grid on that. And again, I'll add that to my sketchbook one more time. And one thing I was also going to show you is that if I wanted to replace this, so once you get your basic rosette in place, you can change out the blocks. So I had some additional blocks that I had designed, and if I took one of those and I just plopped it in here, notice that it replaces the motif I've put in there. So if you do a number of decagon blocks, you can swap them out as you desire. And once I do find something I like, I can again go ahead and add that to the sketchbook as well. Thanks so much for watching. For additional tips and techniques, or even to find the videos for creating the earlier blocks for this rosette, please sign up for my weekly newsletter at www.onpointquilter.com.